And as that armor falls to the ground, again, you hear the quick clap of the hands. And you all turn and you see this woman standing up, going, well, most of you seem to do quite well. I suppose at least you could come to the second round. And she nods, and one of the doors opens, and you see one of the servants in the blue livery waving at you all to come.
I get it.
As you all come out, you kind of are standing in this hallway, and there's a cleric that comes up, again, wearing blue robes, seeming to suggest the ocean or something. And they say, hold on, just a moment. And they clutch their holy symbol and cast Mass Cure Wounds, and you all will heal for 23 points, which I think will bring all of you above your or would bring you to maximum.
Yes.
Tingly.
Feels good.
All right. So you're led back into another well-adorned room. This one has a long table. And there, standing at the head of the table, there's a woman dressed in these various shades of blue. She looks to be some indistinguishable age, somewhere maybe between 40 to 60. She has an elegance and this kind of haughty air about her. She's beautiful, but cold. She looks at you all and says, sit. Refresh yourselves. She takes her seats as servants enter and quickly bring about various wines, ales, lots of food. And she invites you all to join her at the table.
Do we know what's her intent? Can I read her intent?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
No, I can't.
It's really hard. I mean, like, she's got that nobility kind of just stone-faced, like, kind of like almost a continuous resting bitch face all the time.
Mm-hmm. I respect that.
All right, do you guys sit?
Sure, why not?
I will sit and have an ale.
I think I'm gonna be like hiding back in the corner because for me, the transition from almost dying to being offered some ale is just too shocking. It's just too much.
So kind of sitting, but like really nervous and kind of squirrely looking around.
Yep, pretty much.
Baradin's gonna plop into the comfiest, squishiest spot that he can find, and sort of crawl up onto the chair and sit himself down, and then grab. Is there any fruit on the table?
There's fruits, some meats. There's like a whole, just like a nice spread of finger foods.
He'll grab some fruits and start kind of chomping down on some fruits, and then start talking to Gragnold about all the cool stuff that happened. Did you see me bite the leg? I had a leg in my mouth, and then I was eating the leg. It was not very good. The armor doesn't taste very good.
You should try this leg.
So Emerald actually tries to basically swipe some finger food and stuff them into his pockets, especially stuff that looks like it's going to last a while.
All right. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Are you freaking kidding me?
As you're doing this, one of the servants leans over and says, if you'd like to have a little basket made, we can do that for you.
Well, yes, that would be lovely. Thank you.
The servants depart, all but two who are holding like water and one ready to run off and do other errands. She kind of leans back, looking at you all as you're eating and drinking. Well, you survived my little interview. Most of you shown to meet at least the minimum of what I need for this task. So now comes to the part of perhaps hiring you all formally. First, let me introduce myself for those who do not know. I'm the Lady Belinda Sari. And I have a bit of a problem that needs fixing, and I'm looking for some able-bodied people able to fix it for me.
All right.
Would the problem be the animated armor?
No, those were mine.
We seem to have a problem with them now.
Was Belinda the one that healed all of us, or was it the other?
No, that was a cleric of hers.
The cleric. Okay. So I'm.
She was the one sitting up in the balcony watching you all.
Okay. So we're kind of, me and Marty are kind of in the back, and we see this going on, and we see, Baradin and Emerald and Gragnold acting friendly, and this dialogue going on, and, Marty's head's kind of out, and he's saying, What happened, Dick?
I don't know, Marty. I don't know. We seem to be fine, but at the same time, we are very not fine.
And then Marty, sort of looking over, is like, well, they seem like they're pretty friendly. We might as well go over and join them. And it seems like it might be a good idea. He's sort of,
At what point
Marty,
do we notice this person talking to his shoulder?
You know it. You see that this every time. Yeah, it's like very evident. That we're two people.
Do we hear both sides of the conversation too, right?
Yes, you do. Yeah, this is all, you hear all this.
I turn to Baradin and Gragnold and ask, do you all hear and see that as well?
Yes,
I thought
as
it
do
was
I.
just me.
Are we all drunk?
I am all the time.
So Marty is trying to convince Dick to go over to the table, but Dick. Oh, were you waving your hand?
Well, she casts a quick spell, but no effect.
Okay. Right.
Interesting.
So Marty's sort of trying to get him to go over, and we're saying,
Look, Marty, this is the way of the world. They get together, and they do their but it's not lasting. You're alone. We're all alone. That's the way it goes.
well, it seems like they're good. I mean, they healed us, and they seem like they're having a good time. Well, if she's an angel,
There's no such thing as angels. There's no God. It is a cold world. There's no point of doing anything.
well, I'm going to go over and say hi.
We're not doing that, Marty.
You know what? I'm tired of your Dick. I'm tired of your We just died for a second. It's sort of, okay, I've got this feeling, right? I feel like renewed, and like we need to do something more, so I'm going over. So as they sort of go, it's this awkward, like, walk where one leg is being tried to pull back, like kind of they're fighting over how, so I'm like awkwardly walking.
So like a split brain person trying to move and not move, like one
Right.
hand fighting the other kind of thing.
And keep in mind, I still smell like you know what I mean? Yeah, like that's like walking over to you guys.
It's Steve Martin from Man with Two Brains.
Yes, it is. That's exactly what
Can
it
we
is.
call this spell Corpus Callosum?
Right? Sure. Sure.
There was a fountain outside if you need to take a rinse.
And actually, Dick, as you come closer, you feel a little bit of magic whirl around you as the lady casts prestidigitation on you, and the shit stains and the shit smell and shit all magically disappear because magic's freaking awesome.
Oh, jeez. Dick, we seem clean.
Yeah, an ethereal being just wiped our ass. Hooray.
Baradin is going to grab one of the delicious meat legs off the table and hand it over to Dick and say, "Here you go, weird stinky person. Have some food."
Oh, jeez, thanks. That's so nice of you. And
Yes.
Dick is just sort of, Dick is just like pouting, looking away from the wall, but Marty obviously making an attempt to join this crew.
Yes, have some food, strange one. Though you proved ineffective in battle, you seem intriguing and world-traveled. Perhaps that will aid in this little job I have for you all. I'm assuming you all are wanting to get paid and have a job.
What's the job? Seems intriguing.
She reaches up and casts a small illusion spell, and you see floating about like that big image of a statue. A perfect circle with a dragon starting off, and it has its tail ending in its mouth, so it forms this beautiful circle, and she kind of rotates it around almost like this hologram. An item of mine was stolen from me several months ago. I've been working to track it down and have finally found it. And as you're looking at it, you notice it's like a pink coral-looking statue.
And we enter this equation where?
Well, those who stole it or hired those who stole it finally have not had it shrouded in secrecy, and I know where it is. The job is simple. I'll send you to near where the statue is. You go and you retrieve it and you place it in this. And she holds up a small bag. It's a little bit bigger than what the statue was. place the statue in here, it comes back to me, and you receive your payment.
Seems simple. What's the catch?
Catch is you're the second group. First ones didn't seem capable enough of getting it.
Oh,
Is it
geez.
really heavy or something?
It's not particularly heavy, a pound or two.
I'm pretty strong.
Don't worry, Gragnold can lift it.
I can lift heavy things.
Well, it's a good thing this isn't heavy.
Oh, no, don't worry. I'm capable.
He's capable.
He can lift light things too. It's okay. It's not exclusive to heavy things.
Not just heavy things. I'm multi-talented. I was trying to tell your statue out there that.
Excellent. Well, the job, as she's saying this, a servant kind of rushes in and walks over and whispers something in her ear, and she's right. Forgive me, some other business is calling me away. This here is Tom. He can tell you a bit more about what's going on. I'll be back.
We'll be here.
Tom, you said?
Yep. As she walks out, a servant now. So again, in the same house colors that you've been seeing over and over again, but his are much more put together. It's much nicer, of finer quality. He's an older human man, sitting there, and he smiles pleasantly. He's like, "Sorry about that. Little bit of business she had to attend to herself. They weren't dealing with me. So, what is it you're wishing to know?"
What happened to the first group?
Well, it was a pair. It was two people we sent off about 2.5 weeks ago. Should have been back, or should have retrieved the item by now. They haven't. So, I mean, perils of adventuring, right?
Ha 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 ha. No.
So I'm trying to like engage in the group, but I feel very much out of it. I don't know the culture. I don't know this world. So, and it's only Marty who's doing it, and Dick is still sort of pouting. And so I'm trying to speak the same way you do, but just terribly awkwardly. So, it's Tom, great to meet thou, art acquaintance. Thus, with the group prior to the was there a sorcerer?
No.
Maybe you should sit down and have a beer.
Marty, you sound like a idiot.
Wow. Right. Well, look, knowing this is a dangerous job, she's willing to pay each of you 300 gold. And, of course, knowing the deal is to pay half up front. The rest is paid upon delivery of the item.
Sure, why not?
That sounds like a good deal.
But,
How well did they do in the interview?
but honestly, what happened to the sorcerer?
I don't believe either of them was a sorcerer.
Oh, thank God.
I think they were both fighting types. I could be wrong, though. Also, where you're going is going to be a bit far, so... He pulls out another coin purse. It's another 50 gold. Yours to keep, no matter what, of today. That can be used for discretionary purchases.
So that's our travel fund?
Well, the lady will send you where you need to go. But additional supplies, things like that you might need.
What might we need?
I'm not entirely sure where you are going. I know that there's another wizard that she's friendly with that lives close by. She'll be sending you to his tower. He can tell you a bit more of what you need.
So, you know where it is. You know where you sent the previous group, but you don't know what we potentially could encounter?
Lots of monsters. Quite far away, I know that much.
Okay.
I have a question. Does this guy count as two people?
We're going to only go by body count. He's one body, he's one person.
Because I'm not a doctor, but I don't think that's fair.
No, he'll just be one person.
All right.
Well, here's the contracts. And he hands out 4 copies of the contract. I'll leave you to your leisure to read through them. Just let one of the staff know when you're ready to sign, or if you don't want to sign again. let me know. He steps up.
I need a refill.
There's plenty. There's still like lots at the table. And hearing that you need a refill too, one of the servants comes over and refills your mug for you. And so you guys you're not alone in the room. There are the two servants standing by the door, but they seem mostly they're there just to help serve food and gather things or grab people as needed.
So we got like Tom, and then we have two
Tom
servants.
left.
Oh, Tom's gone. Just
Yep.
two servants. Okay.
And you guys all have so it's a very, you have the contracts in front of you as well for the job.
Contracts. Okay. So I'm going to sort of walk over to one of the servants, and this is more of a regular walk, and go to one of the servants and say,
Listen, buddy, do you have any benzodiazepines or anything that might relate to calm me down? Because I am on edge.
right, okay.
I know of something that can calm you down, so hold a moment. And kind of bows his head and steps out of the room. You wait about 5 minutes, and the cleric that you saw before comes in and goes, I understand that you're a bit on edge right now.
Yeah, to say the least.
Well, here. And they clutch their holy symbol, and they place their hand on... since seeing what's going on with your shoulders, they actually place their fingers like right in the center of your chest, and they cast the spell Calm Emotions.
Okay.
And so any fear or agitation that you have been feeling just suddenly dissipates. And you feel this beautiful calm wash over you. Is that better?
Oh, Dick. That feels so good.
Oh, man. That does feel good. That feels real good.
Let me try something else.
By the way, at this point, Dick is erect.
I was waiting for that.
You're waiting for that one?
Perception check to see.
Right.
Are we impressed?
Oh, you're impressed.
Oh, yeah, okay.
3 heads sticking out. It's impressive.
The cleric's going to also place the hand on your chest again and quickly cast Remove Curse, which I'm guessing will have no effect.
Yeah, no effect.
No effect. Okay. Interesting.
Right.
That spell should last you an hour or so. Take care.
Trust me, he definitely feels like a curse.
Oh, gee, Rick, that's not very nice.
All right.
So I sit down and begin perusing the contract.
All right.
I'm going to pretend like I'm reading.
Make a deception check to see how well you are pretending to read.
It's totally upside down.
Did you roll 2 ones?
That's 2 critical fails right there, back to back.
That's awesome.
Oh, this is a mighty interesting picture.
Is he reading it backwards with the the text showing to us?
Yeah, the text is out. Actually, he didn't pick up one of the contracts. He picked up a napkin.
The
Or
middle
using
part's
his
the
monocle
best.
to read it.
So
It doesn't have any glass in the lens. It's just a circle.
Or he
It's
just puts
a
his
metal
finger
circle.
up to it. Yeah, reading the contract.
He just puts his finger up.
Wait till you
this
get
looks
to the
great.
end.
Look, Marty, someone dumber than you.
Baradin is not going to read the contract, but is going to sign the bottom of it, and then is going to hop off his chair and rummage around in some of the food stuff and grab a beer, probably larger than his head.
Excellent. All right.
Then he's going to say, this lady sure has a lot of resources to throw around.
And Emerald, go ahead and give me a perception check just to see what you pick up from reading through the contract, because it's pretty long. Think like The Hobbit, the contract that they gave Bilbo.
Okay, so not a great roll.
You start reading through it, and it's pretty standard, like legalese, which is so freaking
Which means
boring.
I don't really understand it.
Yeah, your eyes are almost crossing as you're reading it. It's just basic stuff like, we're not liable for your death. One thing that does catch your attention, though, as you read it is any other treasures that you are able to procure on this adventure are yours. She lays no claim to anything else other than the statue she's asking you to get.
Okay, this is promising.
But you do also see like high risk of death, basically, and that kind of clues you in as to why maybe gilded mercs might not be taking this job.
I sort of, now that I feel calm, I'm gonna walk over to Baradin because he has
Can you
the
walk
alcohol.
right now?
I can walk. yeah. And I've got something pointing in the
tripod?
direction. Yeah, right. And I'm walking over to Baradin with a newfound interest in the alcohol now that I've calmed down.
You look like you got a newfound interest in everything.
I do. I really do.
We can definitely see where you're walking.
So Baradin, this
Feeling
very
real good.
strange human man walks over and has an erection basically right in your face.
Baradin mostly grew up around animals and barbarians, so I don't think it's actually going to bother him all that much.
Yeah.
He's going to grab a donut from the table and put it on the erection and then hand him a beer.
Right.
Yep. That's not an illusion, my friend. That's the real deal.
Baradin will say, "Glad to have you finally join us at the table, friends."
That's
Yeah.
where his name comes from.
Yeah. Don't get too excited. I'm just here for the alcohol. Oh, we're here
I'm
for
not
more.
the one who's
Thank
getting
you
so
much.
excited.
Yeah.
Awesome. So would you guys be talking to each other, or what would your characters be doing at this point?
Baradin, while drinking and eating, will talk with his mouth open and say, "You there, Punchy McSwordface, you did a pretty good job in there."
As I'm reading through the contract, oh, thank you very much. Have any of you? Well, I know you haven't, but have the rest of you looked at this?
I have.
And do you care to share with the rest of the group what you found out?
The middle part's my favorite. I'd love to hear what you think.
Gragnol's
Are
one
you
of the most
really that
participating
witty?
members of our book club.
There you go.
Come for the books,
Well,
stay for the ale.
There were 3 middle parts. Which one are you referring to?
The top one, which I think is gripping.
Look, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm sort of, my life is kind of on pause right now. I'm just kind of avoidant coping. Got some of that sweet cure from those folk over there, and now I'm just trying to get my drink on.
I don't know most of the words you said, but he's got paws too.
So, given the napkin you just read, the middle part of the napkin looked embroidered. It was very nice, I'm sure.
Very nice
However,
handicraft.
This contract, from what I understand of it, says we can't. Well, we're at serious risk here. The guilds of mercenaries will not take this job.
Okay.
Seems like their loss.
Ah. So, where exactly are you all from?
The mountains.
Which one?
Moon thrush.
Okay.
Oh, I think that's what it's called. It was home.
All right.
Gragnold and I are actually from the Moonfang clan. Clan of barbarians.
Dropped
is
on
my
us another
brother.
bunch, was he?
Yep.
Okay. So we're at risk, but there's the potential for a high amount of rewards here. We get to keep all the potential treasure. I got nowhere else to go.
Seems a win-win to me. Sounds interesting. We get that treasure at the end of it. Get to meet interesting people and people who have people in them. All that seems pretty interesting to me.
That
People
sounds good.
who have people in them.
That sounds good, guys. I think we would love to join you. Me and Dick, we'd love to be there.
Yeah, don't speak for me, Marty. I'm going to go take a
I think you already did.
And I'm going to go get some tissue to blow my nose. And it is my second in the last hour, correct?
I guess he shits for two.
That's a deuce.
Goose deuce.
Deuce. That's a deuce squared.
No, but seriously, I think this contract sounds fine. I mean, me and my brother here, we're just looking for glory.
You read the napkin.
Yeah, yes, and it was Very useful.
The middle
Bairden-
part was the middle initial.
Bairden's gonna come up and kind of say quietly, although clearly still able for Gragnold to hear, and he's gonna say, Gragnold doesn't read very well, but we try to support him anyway. He's a little self-conscious on it.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, thank you for your effort, Gragnold.
99% effort, is what my mom said.
By the way, you can call me Bairden. Bairden the dwarf.
Bairden,
Bairden
I'm
is
Emerald.
very clearly not a dwarf. He is a gnome.
Kind of short for a dwarf.
Gragnold likes to say I haven't quite hit my growth spurt yet.
How old are you now?
120.
Okay.
Any day now.
I'm Emerald. And I guess we're taking this contract?
Sounds like it. If we can convince Blue here over here.
Well, all right. So, Dick,
Yeah,
you in?
fine. I'm sort of like pounding, just still frustrated. Just got back from taking a shit. I don't really care.
All right. Well,
But Marty, we're in like Flynn.
right now.
What?
I think you'd feel a sense of relief right now. You'd be more easygoing.
I think so, but I think I don't care to show it.
Can I
was
roll
an
an
angry
insight
poop.
check and see if I can figure out what Dick might be enticed by to come join us?
Sure.
Ooh,
Damn.
Oop.
wow.
We'll go with the 18 as that was the first roll there. I would say that's probably high enough, unless would Dick want to be keeping that information of what would entice him to join the party a secret?
I mean, I think just by personality, he really doesn't trust people. So all information, even if it's not sensitive, he wants to remain. But Marty is the total opposite. So it's
Okay, so go ahead and roll a charisma saving throw at disadvantage. So 12, so 18. So what would be something that would entice Dick over to the table?
That to come up to read the contract and go on the mission.
Mhm.
Okay. Knowing that there is that one of them knows a little bit about the psychographic nature of this land, or that anything that would relate to us getting to our creator. So maybe they know something about a god. So then I just I go ahead and assume that if they call it a god of this world, it's probably something that knows how to transition into the next dimension. So does anybody might know about gods in this world?
So, Bairden will just speak up and say, we were given explicit instructions from the god of the wolves in order to come on this mission. Or really any mission that happened to lay in front of us. Alright, explicit might be a really generous offer for the instructions given to us.
Well, that sounds good. Shut the fuck up, Marty. What did you say about a god?
The wolf god. The god of the moon, actually. He is the god that we worship. He gifted to us the freedom from our lycanthropic ancestry. He's the reason that I can change shapes. Most of the dwarves of our clan couldn't do that.
So you're saying,
says I was chosen.
so you're saying this is an entity that has abilities to create and infinite wisdom?
Yes.
Sure, yeah, both those things. Also,
Okay.
he really likes wolves. Just as a rule, I think it's more like a general feeling about wolves. A general positivity, I would say.
Look, I get it. You like wolves. I'm in.
All right, so all four of you sign the contract? Or 4.5 of you?
Yep, I signed the contract.
Gragnold might need some help knowing where to put his name and how to spell his name.
So, all right. Emerald gives Gragnold a quill and points exactly where and says, you don't actually need to make it legible. There you go. Nicely done.
How much ink does Gragnold spill on his face as he's doing this?
Don't eat the quill. Don't eat the quill. Feather's bad.
All right. So, Gragnold, that napkin that you were reading before now has ink all over it. It was like it was a hidden message.
I put it in my loincloth because I want to hide the fact that I got ink all over it. And now I have ink all over my face.
All right, as you all finish signing, Lady Sari walks back in. Ah, good. You've signed the contract, I see. Well.
Yes, we did.
Who will be in charge of this? Holding up the small sack.
Baradin points at Emerald. That's clearly the only responsible member of the
Right. And she hands you this small. So it's about like a purse size.
Okay.
Bag. Which explains is that it is a one-time use magic item, essentially. Okay. Like if you put anything in it right now, it's just going to sit in there like a normal sack. But it's especially attuned to the statue that she wants. You find the statue, put it in, it's going to vanish, and what will be in its place is the remaining gold due to you.
Will it take all the other stuff with it?
No, it won't work unless there's nothing in it except for the statue.
Okay, so how are we getting there?
I'll send you magically in the morning. We'll give you all the night to rest.
Okay.
I'll also have you all know. The item is powerful and magical. And I don't want you getting ideas of double-crossing me. I'm intentionally hiring people that are a bit of a stretch to get back what I need in case they do decide to double-cross me. I can easily have you all hunted down.
Look, I'm gonna be real honest. I find your lack of trust very arousing.
That's easy to see.
I could make 1,000 mistakes with you.
Well, you've already off to a good dozen, so...
Don't worry, I don't think I'll last long enough for that.
sorry about Dick. He sort of objectifies women into something he does.
We're all objects, Marty. I objectify it because we're objects. We evolved from a single-celled organism. I'm just trying to get going.
Right.
In the middle of that, our GM's getting some love for the ingenuity on the map.
Right. Anyway. Tom will be back in and he will give you all the half up front, which is standard. And, I see he put the 50 on the table already for your discretionary funds again. That's just additional. Bonus. No need to worry about that coming out of your payout. Rest up, and I'll have you waken in the morning.
Before she leaves, Baradin will say, "Lady, what's so important about this statue, by the way?"
It's mine. People
don't... Yeah, but you got a lot of nice stuff in here.
You see this kind of quick flash of almost like possessive rage in her eyes. People don't take things that are mine. And
Baradin will set his mug down and take the food out of his mouth and put it on the table.
The food has been freely given.
Oh.
And I'm going to go ahead and say, with being a druid, make a perception check.
In the meantime, Dick is just wildly aroused by how aggressive, still, and more so, by the rage and the lack of trust. It's basically...
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution.
You know what? Do I notice when things are sort of rising and falling and with the situation?
Baradin will hold his hands up and he'll say, "I get it. You want your stuff back? No big deal. Whatever."
What's the nature of the magic of this item?
It's nothing that you all could use. It's...
Well, that's not why I ask.
It's inert unless you are especially attuned to it, and only certain beings can attune to this item. I am one of them.
Am I one of them?
No.
How do you know?
Trust me, I know.
Our tribe is pretty much the most special one, so, it could be.
Can I do a perception check to see if I can determine if I might be able to use it?
Sure. She's really hard to read. Especially not being from this world.
And he's just really hard.
Yeah. And you're also... you had a high enough constitution save that you're able to pay attention, but, there's just lots of sensory stimuli going on for you right now.
Right. All right, okay, so
Dear Marty, I'm going to go ahead and apologize because we're really going to have to bust your cherry probably tonight.
Oh, geez, Rick, that's kind of messed up. I don't think I want to do this. I'm really not ready for...
Look, it's going to happen, and I'm not going to lie, I might want Tom to be involved.
She kind of looks at you and goes, no holes in my house. And...
Where are we
seems
staying
like a hard rule.
tonight?
She's offering you rooms.
All right.
Tom will show you to your rooms. Please, eat, refresh yourselves. And I will see you all in the morning to send you to where you need to go.
Again, on the way out, I try and swipe a small bit of food.
As you're walking out, one of you has this little basket filled with food that preserves well, so dried meats, cheeses, things. Sir.
Oh, well, thank you.
Go ahead and add 3 days of rations to your inventory.
Oh, nice. I sort of wander up next to her and just sort of say,
So, Belinda, where is your room?
Far, far away from where you could ever come. And as she walks away, you feel this invisible wall kind of push up against you and encircle you.
okay.
Oh my God, this chick trying to get that dog.
So Dick, as you try to start walking, you notice you're stuck. It's like the mime stuck in the invisible box, only this is a frickin' real box. You could push up against it, but you can't see it.
Okay. Am I able to go out to the side, or is I'm stuck in a box?
You are stuck in a box right now.
Okay.
You're feeling up. And guys, it looks like Dick is putting on the best miming show right now of someone being stuck in a box.
Wait a minute, hold on. Adventure 1 and we've got Dick in a box?
Yes.
Well
that
done.
has happened.
Quick, cut a hole in the box.
So Marty sort of, Dick, I told you not to do that. I told you not to do it. We're in serious trouble.
Oh, I'm gonna try to get us in trouble. I'll tell you that right now.
He's just still one thing on his mind. I think it's sort of the post effects of that curing emotion thing. I'm just sort of euphoric.
All right. Well, for the next 10 minutes, you are stuck inside this invisible box.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I am Sven. We went there.
Barradin will toss a couple of pieces of food inside the invisible box for Dick to have.
You toss the food at the box, but it just bounces off the outside.
He'll keep trying from the other side.
Keep chucking food. So there's just this scattering of food on the floor when finally the force wall just dissipates. It comes down and you're finally free.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Ragdoll, did you see that? I destroyed that box with a scone.
You're a special one.
All right. So as you guys are standing there, Tom reappears and... Right, so I'll show you all to your rooms.
Lead on.
And it's getting later on in the day. When you guys arrived, it was probably late morning, early afternoon. You'd been sitting cooling your heels before the fight for a good, couple hours at least. And it's now starting to press on into evening.
So what provisions do we think we're going to need with our 50 gold piece discretionary fund?
Well, I know where you're getting sent. There's a small town nearby that they should have the supplies and things that you need. We'll give you some basic supplies in the morning. Food, water skins, medicine kit, things like that.
Okay. How many days travel?
That, unfortunately, I'm not too sure of, but it's certainly less than a week's travel from the place you're going to be sent to where we believe the item is.
Okay. Well, then let's rest up and be refreshed in the morning and get traveling.
Awesome. All right, so you guys all rest for the night. Any remaining hit points are restored, any spell slots restored. Nobody has charging abilities yet, so